most of you guys don't know really much about anything, about any ball.
Wow. Wow. What up, though, and welcome to Lions Nation Unite. I am Eazy. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. In today's video, we are going over a lot. All right, it's been a minute. How you guys been, by the way? How's the family? All right, hope you've been well. Hope your spirits are up. I'm trying to keep mine up. All right, as we're watching postseason football without our beloved Detroit Lions. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I've accepted it now. It's cool. um. All right, fans. We got a situation here, and to be honest with you, we're still fan. I'm still a fan. Maybe I can't speak for everybody else. I still love this man as a football player because he plays for my favorite football team. He's one of my favorite football players on my favorite football team. He's a very good football player. He's also like he's rode with us for a little bit too. Like beyond just being good on the football field, the 24 draft, I think it was, maybe it was the 23 draft. Amon-Ra St. finding that group of Bears fans and absolutely trolling them. I love that. He's constantly trolling Packers fans. I love that. Maybe Amon-Ra being a little bit of a troll. It very well could be. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the Detroit Lions have hired a brand new offensive coordinator, Drew Petzing, former offensive coordinator of the Arizona Cardinals. Where he did not rank amongst the top 20 in scoring in his tenure. All right, 3 years there. Nothing of note outside of the rushing offense. If you guys have been watching this channel, you've heard me talk about the offensive line and the ability to run the football, to set things up for Jared Goff, to control the time of possession. Going back to what this offense was under Ben Johnson, I think we need some of that stuff. I like the Drew Petzing hire. All right. I've been that way since the jump. I don't know if you guys see some of the clips out there. I've talked about it, obviously, on the Woodward Sports Network as well. I have no problem with Drew Petzing. I think on paper, it's an absolute fit. A lot of condensed formations, 11, 12, 13 personnel, and a fantastic gap scheme run, all that good stuff. And I could get into that a little bit more in the video. But where this continues, I guess, we get a reaction from this from other fans who don't like it. And very much so. Strongly, vehemently disagree with the hiring. And that's their prerogative. They are allowed to have that opinion. Unless, again, we love this guy. He plays for our team. Unless you're Amon-Ra St. Because apparently, Amon-Ra St. feels like we just gotta, you gotta trust the process. And he's quite upset with it. I got the video here from their Twitter. I'll share it with you guys. Let me know what you think.
Bro, I see crazy Lions fans talking crazy, like, oh, why would we do this? Like, bro, do you guys like have no trust in Dan? Like in the Lions, like you think they would just hire a random dude? Like, be for real. Like, you think they don't know what they're doing? They don't do their research, they don't interview. Like, most of you guys don't know really much about anything, about any ball.
Wow. Wow.
And you're tweeting about a coach that was hired that you guys don't like because of XYZ. Like, it's just funny to me to see. Don't get me wrong, I love all Lions fans, but they are so quick to make, judgments about who we hired, who we did this. Like, bro, just relax, calm down. Like, let the whole thing play out. Like, you guys just let it play out. Just relax. That's all I gotta say. Relax, man. Relax.
Now, he is correct in a certain sense. Like, we don't know ball to the extent of Amon-Ra St. But Amon-Ra St. doesn't know this individual either. He had to look him up before the podcast. Hit the Wikipedia. He said so on the podcast. Secondly, the Lions fans are allowed to have opinions. Like, it's not that complicated. It's football. All right. People are allowed to be upset, especially following a season where we're watching you do your podcast during the postseason, talking about the postseason and other teams that are along in it. Not that it's all Amon-Ra St. fault. It's not. It's a group effort, right? But you're allowed to have your opinion. All right. I personally did not love the Johnny Mo hiring when it happened. I was not in love with that one at all whatsoever. Go back, watch the tape, whatever clips. I said, hey, I would prefer a young innovative mind, but if this is what Dan Campbell wants to do, this is what he wants to do. And I love Dan Campbell. I'm a Stan Campbell. We'll ride with it, and so we did. And certain points of the season on this channel, you guys know very well if you've seen the videos. I was very disappointed with what I got out of Johnny Morton, and I was like, okay, well, I think Dan needs to come scoop in and save this a little bit here, and he did. Ultimately, did. But that was a scenario where I had done what Amon-Ra asked of me, right, as a Lions fan, have my faith in Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, and it didn't work out. The other thing, too, is for technically 5 years, and obviously 1 year we knew it was going to be a little bit of a rebuild, and maybe 2 years we knew it was going to be a little bit of a rebuild for the Detroit Lions organization, but we've had this faith in this team. And I last time I checked, I don't think we have any Super Bowl cheer. I don't remember being at a Super Bowl parade. Did I fall asleep and miss that one? I don't think we won any Super Bowls, right? Like, that's the goal at the end of the day. We haven't had that. So, like, yeah, you're like, one, it doesn't have nothing to do with knowing ball. And I get it. There are tons of fans out there, Lions fans, football fans, NFL fans, living, breathing humans that don't know ball. There's different degrees. There's levels to it. And I trust me, I deal with the public enough to know a lot of people don't know ball. Okay. But you can't tell people how to feel. You can't be the player who gets paid from these fans and say that. I technically I can't even really. I'm kind of being a hypocrite myself. I can't tell him what to say. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think you could just do that. Although again, there may be some truth in there. There may be some truth to it. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, he has to have some. I don't even know, awareness of the situation, for Lions fans, just missing the playoffs when you had the expectations to go compete for a Super Bowl. I mean, you didn't even make the freaking playoffs, Saint. I think that's where people are beefing with it a little bit. And me personally, again, if you haven't seen the clips, I like Drew Petzing. I think on paper it makes tons of sense. Am I disappointed the name wasn't Mike McDaniel? Yeah, I am. Did I set the proper expectations for myself going into this hiring cycle? Yeah, I did. I'm a Lions fan. I'm a Lions fan that has been watching this regime like a hawk. And you can't name a single time outside of maybe CJ Gardner-Johnson, and for me personally, David Montgomery, where we've had a splash signing. And even me calling those guys a splash signing is a little bit of a stretch. And I'm talking about beyond the players. I'm talking about in the coaching staffs too. All right, it hasn't been that. It just hasn't. I think Mike McDaniel's still a brilliant offensive mind. I personally believe Dan Campbell wants a little bit more control, wants to do this thing the way he believes he could be done, and he wants to see that through. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if that's the exact reason why it wasn't a fit. I don't think schematically it's not a fit because Mike McDaniel had Devon Achane as the fifth best rusher in the National Football League. Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins just this past season, with the injuries, averaged the fourth most yards per play on a rush. And I only said because if you bring me the resume of Drew Petzing, the only stuff I could put a green mark on or an A on or a check mark on is the rushing offense. Mike McDaniel fits that. So I think the fit was a cultural thing where Dan wasn't completely able to letting go of the offense, his control on it or his say so on it. Maybe. Again, I don't know for sure. And I don't even know that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I get it. Like, you got to mesh. Yeah, you could be a brilliant mind. If I have to be comfortable with you manning that side of the ball in a way that I respect, the way that I see through as well. And Mike McDaniel just didn't have that, unfortunately. It could have been, if you want to stretch narratives, Mike McDaniel wanted to work with Justin Herbert as his quarterback if he's going to be an offensive coordinator. You could have stretched it to he's still looking for head coaching jobs. I know somebody in the building that says he wasn't committed. And it could be that as well. You never know. But I think Amon-Ra kind of fumbled a little bit there. I think he that was just not really cool dude to Lions fans, the guys that kind of pay your check, right? The people like Amon-Ra plays for the team, and he's worked his ass off to earn that right. So he gets to wear the jersey for free. We don't. All right, we got to pay for that. We got to pay for the tickets. I got to pay for the hats. Got to pay for the hoodies that you get at alliancenationunite.com, by the way. Shout out. It doesn't affect him, even if he did have to pay. He's $30 million a year. Like you can afford it. Not the same for everybody else who's just doing it out of the passion for this team. Maybe some guys could have played, but they're beyond their years, and all they really can do is watch and root for this team at this point. Like, it's just, you got to be mindful of those things when you make those type of comments. Yeah, I think the most important thing, beyond anything, though, beyond the fans and the passion, is like you can be wrong, right? Nobody gets this thing 100% right. Otherwise, there would be somebody winning the Super Bowl every single year. I mean, shoot, even the Patriots were doing that. There was things you can nitpick, like, oh, they got lucky here. Oh, yeah, that call gave them a favor here. Oh, yeah, Tom did, the defense was pretty good. Like, the Patriots going to go to the Super Bowl again this year. Probably, most likely, because of injury to the quarterback. Like, no, this thing is, there's no 100% hit rate in the sport. I was going to say this game, but in sport. Otherwise, again, you would have somebody win that thing every single year. That's just not the case. So you can't really poo-poo on fans for having opinions. Now, do I think some of those opinions are wrong? Yeah, I do. I think a lot of people will be happy with Drew Petzing. I think a lot of people see the return of the run game. Given Brad, that's my biggest thing, actually, too. Beyond the hiring, I think Brad needs to go out there and grab some offensive linemen. I like Christian Mahogany. I think I'm hopeful that could work out, but at year 3, I'm not looking forward to being hopeful. I need to have a contingency in place. I need to go get another interior offensive lineman. That's even if Taylor Decker returns. We don't know if that's happening. I think number one priority for this football team, beyond a Drew Petzing, because the offense wasn't the main issue, I would say the offensive line is the offensive line. All right. Offensive coordinator was like 5th on that list. So for people to be freaking out like this about the hire when it wasn't an issue to begin with, I think it's nutsy cuckoo to me, to be honest with you. I think we do need to relax a little bit. But yeah, I got to react to Amon-Ra calling out the fans because it's not fair. It's not really fair to do as Amon-Ra St. Brown. But we still love him. We still love these Lions. And we're going to ride for them. Stay tuned. Stay tapped in. We'll be bringing you draft coverage soon. I'm going to hit up my guy Scott, see if he wants to come back on the channel. I'm going over offensive lineman right now. That's what I'm doing. The guys I like, you guys want to check them out. One's not going to make it to us. 2 are not going to make it to us. Fano and Maui Noah. I've been calling him Maui Goa. Turns out that G is an N, but whatever. Real G's moving silence. But other guys look forward to Jennings Dunker. There's a kid out of Iowa I've been looking at. There's another kid. I'll just hold on. I'll bring up my list. I have a list I made. Jennings Dunker's one. There's another kid we're looking at, Frank Crum, out of Wyoming. Another kid I'm looking at that I really like, actually, I'm not going to lie to you guys, Monroe Freeling, Freeling. I think he brings it. All right, I think he's an absolute monster. He plays for Georgia. I think, again, I'm talking interior offensive lineman as well, too. Emmanuel Pregnon, Pregnon. I think as interior offensive lineman for the Oregon Ducks, he is a monster of a human being. And I said Georgia for Freeling. I apologize. That is old, I believe. No, yeah, he plays for Georgia. And then Maui Noga, we're just not gonna get that guy. He's too good. He's way too good. He's probably gonna go top 10. And we're getting some edge rushers. Do you guys not even look at offensive linemen? I won't look at offensive linemen. You tell me who you want me to look at. Put the name in the comment section down below. If it gets the most likes, I'll do the breakdown on it. How about that? Let's do that. Let's get the ball rolling here on content this channel. Put a name down that you want in this draft class that you want a video breakdown of. I'll recruit whoever to go along, do it with me. Dosa Dion, my guy Scott Bischoff, maybe Russell Brown, whoever. I'll reach out, try to get him on, and we'll do the breakdown on him. Let's do that. But until then, smash the like button, and I'm out.